Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls.
Hello and welcome back to Film Critic Life. I'm Liv, I'm your host, and this month has been quite an incredible month for film coming out and TV shows coming out, as well as all the content for the buzz for anything else that is coming out this year in the summer or autumn. So there is a lot to unpack, but before we go that far, I have my favourite co-host back today. Miss Katie Allen is here.
Hello.
Miss Allen is moved to Northern Ireland at the moment for a job, so we are talking across the seas. How are you?
I'm good. I feel like I should have worn like green or something to, commemorate being in Ireland. But no,
a little bit of, like bluey green. Your pink Floyd t-shirt.
A little bit of green.
What are you currently watching right now?
We are currently watching Three Body Problem. By saying that, we started watching it, and then I don't know, it was late at night and we didn't finish the first episode, but that's kind of what we're sort of watching at the moment. And that's pretty much it. We've not long finished The Gentleman, which I know we're going to talk about in a minute as well.
This month, I said that films were rubbish last month. I felt like it was dry, there's nothing coming out. This month, complete other story. So much has come out. I feel like there's like content everywhere. Also, there's been a lot of trailers and a lot of promotion and a lot of information coming out. I think the first thing I'm going to say before we go on to film segment is the Bond situation. Have you been thinking about it?
Yeah, it's a weird thing, isn't it?
Yeah, I feel really proud of myself because I predicted when they will release who Bond is. He is not Bond. Before we say it, he is not Bond. They have had to say this now. They have gone, this is not a thing. But I said that I bet they would be looking and release who Bond is by summer this year, because by the time the last film happened and that they said they wanted to have a little break between, I said it would probably be a 2-year break. So I predict by this summer we will know who Bond is, and they'll start filming late this year. Well, pre-production at least. Obviously, it came out that Aaron Taylor-Johnson was talking, basically, and I think that's what's annoyed me. So many people have taken it on as board as he is Bond. They've not said that at all. It's just been leaked that they were talking.
I think it's a really unique situation, isn't it? I think it's I can't really compare it to anything else, to be honest, about who's the next Bond. Somewhat what's going on over in America, who's the next Wolverine and what have you, and the talks with Henry Cavill being the next one. It's exciting, and I'm intrigued in this new age, I think, of social media, how they're going to do it, how they're going to reveal it.
I think whoever the Bond is, I do feel sorry for them, because this is going to be the first Bond where social media is fully massive and everyone's going to have their opinion. Also, a lot of people are stupid. I say this all the time. People are stupid because obviously me and you are both English gals.
Are we?
There's a lot that I think now that social media is so big, it's not a divide between England and the US, France anymore. It's kind of like this weird mingle of the whole world. And so like this, obviously we've got situations with the royal family. I'm not talking about that, but we have situations with the royal family, and I think people don't understand processes. It's like people always say like, who's going to be king after Charles? That actually hurts my brain. How do people not know?
Really?
It goes to the eldest, the next child. Who's the eldest? Obviously it used to be the eldest son, but that has changed, but it's obviously William. And it hurts my brain. It actually just I don't get it. So I think this Bond situation is very similar. Everyone has opinions, and it's just let them do their thing. I'm just going to be on standby. I personally would like James Norton for many reasons. I think he's very British. He isn't completely well known around the world. he's still kind of small. He's got amazing acting skills. He's the right age. I think he fits so many of the like the little niche things that for me, I wanted to kind of be someone who, the same way as when Daniel Craig came in, he was known but like not massive. He was, and one thing I've learned through doing British studies was that Bond is the only role that will make someone an instant star. So there's also going to be that.
Yeah, that is, for anyone, it's, you know, it's like if they're like I don't like using these terms, but if they're a Z-lister, they're going to go straight to A-lister, you know, although I don't really like those terms, but yeah, completely. For me, I've always had it in my head, like Richard Madden, I'd really like him to be Bond, but ultimately I think I'm not going to lose sleep over it either. You know, it is what it is. And I'm sure it's going to be found.
I think for me and you, we all care about who the director and writer is. That's where we all have opinions. That's where I'm really upset that like Danny Boyle was meant to do the last one and didn't do it because of creative differences. But things happen, and you know, it'd be interesting to see who does the next ones.
For sure.
On the 1st of March, this year, Lisa Frankenstein came out in the UK.
You're him? I can't believe you're here.
It's definitely not been advertised. I've known about it mostly through TikTok. So this has been something that I've been following since the end of February because it came out in the States then. Came out here on the 1st of March. And update, recently it's obviously now put out how much it got on the box office and stuff, and it didn't make its money back. And there's been a bit of film critics like ourselves talking about it, just saying it's one of them situations where it's a really good movie. It's now become a cult classic quite quickly, but it didn't have the promotional marketing to allow it to become what it could have been. It's set in the 80s, and it's about a girl who, it sounds really weird, she is kind of obsessed with this graveyard. She really likes this one grave. And one night some lightning strikes it and he becomes like a Frankenstein monster and is obsessed with her. That's it. And it's a very like funny slasher horror, same lines as like Edward Scissorhands style of this like gorgeous 80s pop. The clothing is amazing, like, and it also is the very like when people talk about the 80s and they're like the 80s were actually awful. It wasn't like the most glamorous with the costumes, but the outfits, I feel like it does tap into that, like some of the outfits that you see other people wearing, you're like, oh god, like very mum and Target. Have you been seeing anything about it?
No. And I think that obviously plays into the fact of what you were just saying about promotion and marketing. As you know, I don't have TikTok, so I wouldn't have come across it that way. So yeah, would you have come across it / watched it if it wasn't for TikTok? No. I think that's really remarkable. Yeah. But no, it sounds interesting. When I was reading about that, you know, putting it in our discussion today, I kind of got like sort of feeling like it was a bit like Warm Bodies. Like,
yeah, I saw you comment and I was like,
yeah,
yes and no. Like it's in the same sort of realm of being silly, and like he becomes less and less Frankenstein. Does the, I don't want to like give away the ending, but it's because he kills people and then takes away what they need. So like for example, I'll say he hasn't got a hand, so he cuts off someone else's hand and she sews it onto him, and they have this like So earlier on, I think it's very well established, but her stepsister has a tanning bed that's a bit faulty, so it like electrocutes you if you put it on too high. So she's able to use that to electrocute him, and every time they do that bit of body part becomes his body part. So he like becomes more and more human as it goes on.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, and I think I
so
also
kind
love
of
how. Yeah, it's so funny. People are dying, and you're like, "It's great." I think one thing I really love about it is the characters aren't perfect, but you still kind of love them. But they are so like the main girl is just unlikable, but you love her. Like she's like a bit. Yeah, I can't. Yeah, but that's. It was directed by Senla Williams and written. I'm gonna like absolutely butcher this. I always butcher names. Dyslexic brain here. Diabo Cody, who wrote Jennifer's Body. Yeah, who wrote Jennifer's Body, Juno, and they have said it is in the same universe, which I think is quite cool. They were like, yeah, Jennifer's Body and this film are technically the same little world. I was like, what if they suddenly like make another one that's like set today and it's them and like Jennifer's Body just like have them all together.
Yeah.
I do
but I'll have to definitely give it a watch.
It's literally on nothing yet. It's just been in the cinema, and just clips on TikTok. Hopefully, I'm really hoping it has like same as Saltburn. Saltburn had a really big buzz, wasn't advertised a lot. Second, it went on to Amazon Prime, blew up. So I'm hoping it will have a similar something. It also, it was had a score by Isabella Summers. Gorgeous score. Also did the TV show The Offer and a film called Lessons in Ohio. She's one to watch, is all I'm saying. I honestly looked at her and I was like, she is gorgeous at her score. She's quite a new composer. Yeah, one to watch. Obviously, we can't do this month without talking about Dune.
In Arrakis, you will not only learn how to ride the Fremen. The planet will show you what you do not see. It will show you your future. And that's just the beginning.
Did you say you watched Dune 2? You did, didn't you? Because you gave me a review.
Yeah, we went to the IMAX to watch it, which was such a great experience in itself. By the way, the tickets weren't that expensive, right? 2 tickets for an adult in the IMAX. It was like 24 quid or something. Spent the same amount on popcorn and an ice blast. It's crazy. Anyway.
That's why they get you.
That's why they get you. Yeah. But anyway.
My local little cinema, iconic. Shout out to Durham Cinema just for a moment. £5. But you know what? The popcorn was only 3 quid. And drink a Coke is something silly like £1.50. You can go in with a tenner. It's great. Use your local cinemas. Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Not IMAX though. And sometimes you can hear the Metro if there's a night going on a Friday night or Saturday night. You can hear the pumping under the ground. But
it's part of the experience.
Really random fact, Prince William and Harry have been in that cinema. So shout out Deer and Cinema, everyone.
There you go. You've heard it here, folks.
Heard it here first. I saw you left a comment saying about Timothy and Florence Pugh being back together in a film. How were they? How was their like on the screen?
Oh, it was good. Right, first of all, I mean, the first Dune, both of us are quite in mutual agreement in that we thought it was highly meh. Basically,
that's it. Meh.
Very, very meh.
5 out of 10.
Oh my gosh, the second one. Yeah, literally. The second one. Oh my god, it was leaps and bounds better. Everything was better. It's like they fixed everything that was wrong in the first one, essentially. And thoroughly enjoyed it. Once again, in the IMAX, was such a great experience, especially the score, the Hans Zimmer. And it was so visually stunning as well, so visually stunning. But yeah, it's such drama because I mean I completely just do not know this world, right? And I know some people that are absolutely obsessed with the book and know all the lore and everything. So I kind of just took it as, yeah, I just take it at face value with the films. Whatever you make, whatever you want of that as you will. But yeah, so yeah, Pew and Tim back together, but actually I wasn't really shipping them. I I don't know how much detail to go into it. Do you know? You said you know what happens, yeah?
Yes, because, and I will say about this in a bit, but I've watched Dune, the original 80s version of the film, and I've read loads of random spoilers and stuff, so I know what's going on in the next few books as well. So yes, I know what happened in the second one. Can't wait to hear about the worms.
Oh, the worms. So funny. Yeah. Well, actually, it was funny. I watched a video this morning, and it was literally like side by side the sequence of Paul riding the sandworm in Dune 2 versus the original when he did it, and it's so different. But like, I don't know, it was quite funny. But yeah, no, definitely recommend actually. I wasn't bothered about seeing it, to be honest with you. But me and Reese was like, oh, should we go to cinemas? Oh, okay, what's on? And we thought, well, let's watch it. And that's how we watched it, really. And I really recommend it. Gotta stay on trend, bro. Yeah. So.
I'm definitely seeing more and more people saying Dune 2's better. I don't really want to keep like, but I'm currently studying about fantasy in cinema, and I got in a passionate debate about Dune with someone. I've only watched the first of these new versions, and I thought it was very meh. I got very bored. I was very confused. And then I rewatched, because I had watched it once upon a time, but I rewatched the 80s version. And it establishes so much quicker that you really understand the conflicts and who the power dynamics are. There was things I didn't know when I had just watched over nearly 3 hours of a film. I didn't know, for example, that Paul, who's Timmy, was from a water planet and then moved to the sand planet. I was like, that, okay, I know visually that is what just happened, but I didn't cotton on. Call me stupid, but I just think sometimes when there is a lot of lore and it's a very heavy book, a little narration or some really good title cards goes a long way
100%.
in these sort of films. Yeah, it's all about adaptation theory, and I don't think you should ever assume audiences know everything. It's
absolutely
at the moment.
Yeah, like when they put in Easter eggs, and Reese tells me that, you know, because he loves his Marvel, and he's like, oh, that's what that means and all that. I wouldn't have known that, and it's supposed to be something significant, but you don't get it really at first hand. But
yeah, I think I'm very glad that they've obviously taken on opinions and criticism. I feel like we could go straight onto it, but Ghostbusters Frozen Empire came out recently. I haven't seen it though.
No, same.
But I have seen the one that was just before, and I was very, very disappointed as well.
Yes.
It was so dark. It's the classic, why are you so dark? This is Ghostbusters. Like, be bright, be like gorgeous and franchisey, and it was so boring. And the Easter egg callbacks were so meh. Like, it was like, oh, here's the car. Like,
so
it was
bland, wasn't it?
It was like, I can't even tell it's the car because we're in a dark scene. But the trailer and the reviews for the next one, this Frozen Empire, looks amazing, and I am going to go see it this week. Easter. We are filming this on Easter Friday. I'm going to go see it.
Happy Easter, everyone.
Happy Easter. I'm going to go and see it in this coming week, I believe, because I'm very looking forward to it. This is the thing, like the difference in stylistic brightness and colour and comedy. Oh my god, the comedy in the first one was gone. There was no comedy until spoiler alert, until the originals came back in the final like 10 minutes. And then it was like Bill Murray doing his little punchlines, and I was like, this is great. And this new one, because it's back set in New York, and it, like I said, it's, I can't keep saying it's bright, but it's actually daylight. It's like, you know, it clearly is like the middle of summer or something in New York, and like the lightning beams are like bright, and that you can see the goo is green again, and like I just don't understand why Hollywood has moved this shift to these dark films. But I'm really happy with this Ghostbusters, how they've taken on that and changed it for this new version. I feel like this first one of these new ones follows the Stranger Things formula too much. Also, it's got Mike from Stranger Things in it, which is kind of, I don't know if that's why my brain went there. But obviously Ghostbusters never had kids in it. Now it does. And this isn't giving away the plot, but it's very, one kid goes and does something, finds something, learns something, other kid finds something, learns something, the parents are also doing something, and then they all end up together at the end. It's that sort of Stranger Things formula.
Yeah, it's very Stranger Things / it's, you know, part 2 when they're older.
There is an ethical debate. I don't know if you've seen about this.
No.
So the new version of Ghostbusters. So this isn't Frozen Empire. This is the one before. Brought back Harold Ramis, who plays Spangler. He's dead. So there's the ethical debate about CGI of an actor who is dead. It also wasn't a good enough payoff for me to have him back in that way. I can't give it away. Like it's been out for a long time now. It's not even a new film.
Yeah,
but it's he comes back as a ghost right at the end. I don't know. It just didn't feel right. And I think, like I said, the film itself was so bland and dark, and it felt a bit like, it was. And at the end, it then goes for, you know, Harold, and it's like, was that really the best tribute they could do for this man?
Right. Okay. Yeah. So if they've done it distastefully, then that's that. But I think if they were trying to do it as a tribute, then I suppose you could see it as something different. I mean, it's a bit like with Carrie Fisher and Last Jedi, but if they've not done it so epic, because that was epic, I cried.
That was like, I felt they used clips, and I don't think it was distasteful. They tried to like remove her from the franchise in a really nice way. But they go, Ghostbusters Afterlife was meh. Meh. It was okay. It was just, I think it was a letdown. But like I said, same as what we've just said about Dune, I'm very happy that they've taken on this response and made the next film even better. So we've just done a film. You've watched a film that I've watched. Here's a film that we've both watched. I think.
I don't know. Which one's this?
I can't remember. Did you watch Damsel? I don't know why I'm suddenly going, you've watched it. I don't think you have, actually.
No, I haven't.
Okay, so let's go on to another.
Maybe I should have just got along with it. Yes,
Damsel came out this month too. They did some reshoots. All I knew from the reshoots is they wanted to add more dragon in. It's really good.
Easily done.
I really like this. I really like the film. It's a little bit cheesy. It's a little bit. It's just fun, and I think it's not in your face. Like it's obviously it's called Damsel, and it's clearly meant to be like she's not the damsel because she like fights her way out, but it's done in quite a tasteful way. I'm a bit mixed with the ending. I was happy at first, and then I saw a tweet, and then I was like, actually, did we need that ending? But it feels, that's it. That's all I can say. I know I liked it. It was mostly filmed in the UK and then little bits around Europe.
Yeah, I think it's like, I don't know. I think with Millie Bobby Brown, who is the protagonist of Damsel, it's a weird one. The stuff that she kind of makes, I think she's now becoming like a young girl's like icon, and I feel like we're just a little bit too old for that. So for me personally, I don't always feel compelled to watch her stuff other than Stranger Things. Because I love Stranger Things, full stop, and I don't watch it.
Talk for yourself.
Her, but
she's an icon to me.
No, but I just
no, I completely understand what you're saying. Yeah, my nieces love her. My niece is nearly 12. She loves her.
Exactly. Yeah.
It was definitely, and she seems to only do Netflix films.
Yeah.
Or shows.
Yeah.
Saying that, she was in Godzilla. I just remembered that.
She was. That was. Yeah, we watched that together, didn't we?
I think that's kind of it for films. We have a few films that came out on Disney Plus, which are old films, but I thought I'll just say, because again, it's like once they're on streaming platforms, everyone will suddenly watch them. Poor Things and The Stranger, which were both obviously Oscar bait. I don't want to say Oscar bait, but they were like Oscar-y films that were going around. They're both on Disney Plus now. Yeah, should we talk about the Oscars for a little bit, because that was at the start of the 10th of March. Obviously me and you just catch the highlights the next day because we're asleep by the time it's
gotta get that
on
sleep
over here. Okay, so the first thing, go straight in with Poor Things again. Poor Things. I find it fascinating that it's a British film. I know The Favourite's also a British film, and he seems to always use Britain. The next thing that he might have in works might also be in Britain. That's all I know. And I'm proud of the British team. I think that's my main thing that I wrote, was because the production design, makeup, all British, and they're
British crew.
Yeah, amazing. Well done. You brought it home for us. Like, great. Yeah. It's a very interesting film, because I did say, and I will hold my hands up to this, at the BAFTAs, I said I was very shocked it was up for Best British Film, because it mostly wasn't filmed here. But now that I understand that the whole team was British, apart from the production, the producers and the money, and maybe a lot of the actors, therefore it was a British production.
True.
Yeah,
British crew.
Woo. This year's Oscars did give me Hunger Games vibes. I think it was the way that we had like 5 of the previous winners come out to do like a little moment and like talk about the next people.
No. Yeah, like some of the clips I was watching, I didn't know what was going on. I was like, why is he there? And then I registered. I was like, oh, okay. No, it was interesting. I think from the clips that I've seen, like the actual ceremony was, quite a good ceremony.
Yeah.
Regardless of if you were frustrated or not about the results or what have you.
Yeah. It was very fake, but I was happy about it. It's where I was. I was like, I'm loving this, but it feels wrong. I quite like the presenters. So we obviously had Ariana Grande come out promoting Wicked. It made me really happy, even though like the Wicked trailer has not made me happy. the promotional side of it is another topic. Is making me happy. Also, was it a bit of a men's show? Yes. Best actor, obviously, of course, best actor. That was one of the greatest things to come out with just then. Best director, best film, very male. Barbie snubbed, but the presence of it was known. I felt like they were very aware that it was snubbed. Obviously, it did win for best
Yeah.
for two of the songs. We had the best moments from them, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, with many jokes. They even used it for the promotional material. With Ryan Gosling being Ken.
I know. I really enjoyed that performance as well. So good.
Oh, good, yeah, he came out saying, "Oh,
So
that's
good."
I think it also, to call back to something I said last time, was I think it was the Critic Choice Awards. He won for that song, and his face, you could just see him going his head. Oh my god, I can't believe this is what's making me win. And now I'm going to have to perform it at the Oscars. Like, you could see it calculated in his brain that he was going, oh no. And so I think he was very like, I don't want to do this. But once he got on that stage, he just went for it. And it was absolutely wonderful. I think one detail a lot of people missed was the other four Kens were on the stage with him. They just, some reason, just didn't really do any shots of them, which was a bit weird.
Yeah. I mean, I spotted two of them, just because I was like looking out for them, I guess. But yeah, I think they should have made it more of a thing.
Yeah, because they had some of you there, and who was it? Kingsley Ben. I was there. Is it who just played Bob Marley? Also, Doctor Who was there. Yeah. It was. I feel like a bit of a shame for that. I just feel ashamed. It's like when you get your first. They're clearly very established actors, but you know when you get your first little extra and you get cut from the screen. That's what it felt like. I was watching. Like, I was like, oh, they're there, and they're gonna be like, Mum, I'm on the Oscars.
It's just like you just see that arm.
Yeah. And then just the background actors, dancers. But I know you've made a comment about the autonomy of the Fool one best original screenplay. I've learned a lot about that recently, and I think that was such an amazing film. Yeah, to be created, and I do need to watch it. It's not, again, it's just not. Sometimes these films, they will come out at once and you get so overwhelmed and you can't keep going to the cinema, so you kind of having to wait for a few of them to come on to Netflix or Amazon Prime, and then it's just grabbing an evening that you can watch them.
Yeah, exactly. And especially with, I think, Anatomy of a Fall, it's quite a heavy film, isn't it? So you kind of have to be in the right frame of mind to appreciate it. But no, I'm excited to watch that. I'm quite intrigued by. I don't know. I'm just intrigued by the whole thing around it, really. But yeah. That's
Have you seen the nominations for the UK BAFTA? I don't know why I say like the UK BAFTAs, the BAFTA TV Awards.
The television one, yeah.
Yeah, it's I'm excited.
It feels flat.
I'm very excited, but it's always the same people. It's always The Crown. It's always Top Boy. Happy Valley back in the mix. Like, it's always but then at the same time, Black Mirror is up, and I'm very happy. The actress from Demon 79 really deserves that. Bella Ramsey is up for leading actress. Succession up quite a bit as well. Again, always goes round in circles. Supporting actress, so Slow Horse is up for a bit. I'm quite a slow horse. I quite like that show, so very happy for that to be in the mix. Scripted comedy, quite a few ones that I think have kind of been missed are up for script comedy, so I'm happy for that. Big Boys and Extraordinary. I love both of them, so I'm hoping either of them win. Extraordinary is actually one of the best random Disney Plus British shows to come out. It's so funny. It's so relatable.
I need to give it a watch.
It's worthy. I watched seasons back to back. It's about if we all had superhero powers, It was just a comedy. It kind of feels ever so slightly like Misfits, but not as dark. EastEnders up for Soap.
Well, I was just looking at this actually. So it's just Casualty, EastEnders, and Emmerdale. Where's Corrie? Where's
Not good anymore.
Hollyoaks isn't always up.
I know.
I
No.
was like, where's Corrie gone? Where's sick Corrie?
Go away, Corrie. We don't want you anymore. Another favourite, Strictly Come Dancing. Love it.
Yeah.
Grey Not Show, obviously iconic, always has to go up. And then the rest are all very
Very usual.
yeah. I love how they have memorable moments now. I know that's been a thing for a little while, but I do quite like it because they are moments that everyone remembers and talks about. But David Beckham teasing Victoria about her working class upbringing is a moment that I actually can't see how anything else could beat it.
I know.
The other ones are like The Last of Us, Bill and Frank's story. Yeah, iconic episode, but that's an episode, not a moment.
Exactly. It was so sad.
A few moments from Doctor Who being the 15th Doctor being revealed, and the TV BAFTAs is always second to the BAFTA, and it's always a bit of a. I'm surprised they've not merged them. I'm very shocked they've not. But they also have the game. The game BAFTAs as well. Is it the game BAFTAs or is it the video game?
Do they?
BAFTAs. One of them. Yeah,
don't
there's another
know.
one as well.
Really?
Yeah, but again, it's just no one cares. TV. I think there's been some really good TV this month. Television.
Yeah.
There's been some great television this month. I think I might start with Quiet on Set because it's the saddest. And then we can go happy, because I don't want to end on Quiet on Set because it's quite obviously it's one of the last notes I've got because it's new. Are you aware about it? Yeah.
No.
No.
Tell me about it.
Quiet on Set has not really been released in the UK. It's a bit of a weird one. It's been released on this really random platform that you can get on Amazon Prime, but you have to pay extra money for. It's a bit of a weird. It's like Stars. It's not on Stars. It's just a weird, backward way of watching something. I'm mostly seeing it through TikTok because that's how I get all my information these days. So I think the reason it's affected me the most, why it's affected me so much, is these are the shows that we would have watched on Nickelodeon. So it's the full title is Quiet on Set: The Dark Side of Kids TV, and it's a documentary series about the allegations and reveals from the underage performers of a lot of Nickelodeon films and TV shows, and how which were produced by Dan Screener. He was basically sexually abusive and very not okay. Some of the clips that have resurfaced are shocking that were put on shows like iCarly and Victorious. A lot of innuendos that should have no place in kids TV shows. Quite a lot of the actors have now spoken out. They're obviously all older than us, and I think the saddest thing that's come out, just gonna get the names up before I get it wrong. With the one random thing I know she's in. So I think the most shocking thing that's come out is Amanda Bynes, if you remember her, the legend.
Yeah.
She's 37 at the moment. She's kind of gone off the rails, understandably. She's had to do a Britney. All respect. Hope she gets better and gets help and maybe this has freed her a bit. But it has come out that at 13 she was pregnant with the producer's child, and she was forced into and she was forced into an abortion. Her parents knew about this, and she still worked with that man for quite a while. I think that's the most shocking thing that's come out. There's been quite a few other very notable stars from these shows who have come out and said that this man also sexually abused them in other ways. It kind of one of the stories kind of reminded me a little bit of Michael Jackson and the allegations against him, that their parents were very like, oh no, they can just, if they're doing auditions in LA area, they can just stay at mine, it's fine. And the parents were okay with this for their 13, 14, 15-year-old kids to stay at this random producer's house. And they obviously weren't okay. They got sexually abused. So it's a very interesting and something that needed to come out. And my main thing that's my personal brain that's like about this is what else is now happening, because I think obviously in the UK we had quite a few allegations come out from the 70s, 80s. Now we've got allegations from obviously America and kids. There's loads of allegations come out, but now we've got 90s, 2000s. So what has happened in the last 10 years and happening now with these kid TV shows, and I think it's just making me worry about this like power dynamic that's going on.
Definitely, it's so concerning. I mean, I just can't believe what you've just said there about Amanda. So sad. Jeez.
Yeah.
But I think it's something that should be sort of. I hope they bring it out on like a more easier watching platform than whatever it is. You know, I've heard nothing about it. Was it made like? Did they interview or speak to the victims and such? Were they given the opportunity to tell their side?
Yeah, so a lot of the actors from, I think one of them from iCarly, because I feel like the earlier Nickelodeon shows weren't really out for us. We had Nickelodeon a little bit, but I mostly remember SpongeBob.
Yeah, See, when I was one of those kids, right? When I was growing up, I had like buckle. Like, I remember when Disney was coming out, and some kids at school had that, and they had Nickelodeon and what. I would just have basic terrestrial television, like, you know. I was so old, but like
me too.
I didn't have any of the
ITV
would have like the ITV. CBBC,
great days. Dick and Dom on a
great
Sunday morning.
Yeah, oh my god, so iconic. So all these Nickelodeon and Disney kids shows, because I didn't grow up with that, I don't really know. But of course, like getting older and knowing what was popular, should I say, and I think it's shocking to hear that actually that was going on behind the scenes. But I mean, I know though that when Britney was in Disney, she's one of the Disney kids, you know, she was abused, and her sister, who spoke about it, Jamie Lynn on I'm a Celeb, she spoke about it a bit when she was on I'm a Celeb, and how actually she was kind of used a bit on the network as well. It just needs
she's come out. She's one that has been discussed. So it was Drake Bell is one of the main ones that's also come out from the Josh. From the
Drake and Josh.
Yeah, so that was sad. I think because he's one that I know quite well. So he's one of those stories that apparently he would stay at his whenever he was in the area.
Oh, God.
I think for me, especially with Victorious, because Victorious was the one I remember the most, is looking at some of the clips. Oh my God, like there's clips of Ariana Grande that shouldn't be out there, like as well as many other people, but I think she's such a big name, and it's just like, how was this? But it's just a lot of like maybe cream being thrown in someone's face, if you get the gist of what and these are underage kids, and it's somehow done in a weirdly sexual way. It's not okay. It's just it's actually shocking at how much it was. Anyway, this is why I said I thought I probably should talk about it first, because it's so sad. I just like I said, I just fear about what's going to come out in the next 10 years about other shows. Yeah. Anyway, we've got a couple of other really big TV shows that have come out this month. Two of them we've both watched. One of them only me has watched, and then a couple of just notable add-ons. Mary and George was a stunningly underestimated show that's come out this month.
My son, he is subject to my rule. He is my George, and you should know, I am Mary.
I loved it. Like, I do think the last few episodes became so political that I was like, I'm now turned off, because I thought this was one
safe
area. I thought this was like something else. But yeah, it was I'm trying to remember what platform it was put on. So yeah, this was in the UK, put on Now TV. It has definitely taken liberties. No way is this fact, but at the same time, it is true. King James was a homosexual. It was known. Like, it was known. It was known. He was okay. Love it. Iconic. He had gilded, you know. He's such an interesting king as well, though, like, because he was Scottish, and he was like the first king that like was like Scottish in the UK and England, and you know, his mother was a Queen of Scotland, his auntie was the Queen of England. Iconic man. He had large footsteps to fill. Nicholas Scarlett, right? We are having a him moment. I think he is one of them guys that he also looks like other people, that you watch something and you go, is it him? Yes, it is. Yeah. So he has been asked a few times now, why does he keep doing gay lads? Is the only way I can say this. I think it's kind of disrespectful to ask people that. A part is a part at the end of the day. If he's good at playing gay, let him do it. Like, yeah, I don't care. Because he was also in Red, White and Royal Blue. Iconic film.
I didn't mean
iconic. But I did say to you, I remember saying that there's some sexual scenes in it. Don't mind it. Absolutely fine with that. But because I thought it was going to be a nice little rom-com that was soft, and so when that happened, like not what I thought it was going to be. And I'm definitely noticing a trend of them sort of fan fiction-y young adult novels that are getting made into films. It's like they're all soppy and soft and like, you know, fluffy, and then next thing there's like a really big sex scene, and you're just like, huh, did you expect that?
This came out of nowhere.
Is that it? Gillian Moore. Iconic. Also not British. Does an amazing British accent. Amazing. She's in the Jurassic Park series, so I instantly love her. Who's it? Tony Crane plays King James. Again, iconic. Like, it's just,
it does have a good cast. It does.
Yeah. I just love a scheme. I love a scheme, and I think because it's follows them trying to get him to become in other ways, you'll say the mistress, I don't know how you'll call it, but his boy, the king's lad, like they're trying to push him towards that. And I think the scheme of that is so clever, and we know that in history things like that happened all the time.
Yeah.
And I really like the episode to episode journey of these characters, because we are with them for so many years, and the changes and the subtle changes and the changes of motives, and I found it so interesting. And also they randomly put an extra episode at the end, which was like a documentary episode, to kind of just like, and they went through like the costume design, they talked to the actors, they brought up some of the real history. I don't know if they just needed to be like, we didn't make this up, this was kind of fact. But yeah, I liked it.
Oh, that's an interesting. I didn't realise that. That's an interesting add-on. It kind of reminds me of like David Attenborough documentaries, you know, and it's like the last 15 minutes is like behind the scenes through the lens. I like that. That's good. I like that. Cool. Yeah, I haven't watched it. I haven't really felt compelled to watch it, in all honesty. I don't know if it was just jumping on the bandwagon of like Bridgerton's success. It kind of felt like that for me. Like, so yeah, I don't know. But the fact that you've just said that at the end, that kind of makes me feel like maybe it is a bit more respectful and it should be watched. I'll get back to you on that. There are a lot of steamy scenes. I will say that. A lot of lesbians, a lot of gays. It's great. I think also from someone who is part of the queer community myself, sometimes it is nice to see myself represented in that era, because it's always completely. Like, yeah, because always like, oh no, it didn't happen. It did. Like, it always happened. You know, were they best friends or were they lovers? Yeah. Exactly. I mean, we were watching, I don't know if it came out in February or March, but it was about Alexander the Great. And it was like a docu-drama series. So it was like a combination of snips of like dramatization and people sitting and talking about the era. It was really cool. And obviously he was homosexual, and it's like being with all the guys, his best mates and everything. And it's like, it should be talked about so much more because of, you know, it happened. So it's liberating, I suppose, isn't it? To see that on screen. Okay. We both loved this. The Gentleman, which has been released on Netflix. Guy Ritchie, iconic. Named after the film, which has the same name. A bit confusing. Yeah. Also, technically not related to the film, which I found quite interesting as well. I read an article about that. He was like, it's like, he said it's kind of like an alternative story, like in an alternative universe. They're not connected, but he liked it enough to do a script. I don't know. I thought it was. I thought, you know, Ray Winston's character. He's from the film The Gentleman, and it was sort of, I thought that's unless I'm interpreting it differently. No, I read, and that's what was said, and I was kind of waiting for it to ever so slightly, like someone to say an original character's name, and that this was just a part of the whole operation system. But obviously it was a different character in charge of the operation system, so, you know, Matthew McConaughey did not come back, and Lady Mary from Downton did not come back. I just always imagine him as like Dallas Buyers Club still. You just imagine, yeah. Anyway, really loved it. I think Guy Ritchie is such an iconic filmmaker. He's just a national treasure for us over here. Like, I don't even have criticisms. I will say, like, I think there was 1 or 2 episodes in the middle that I was a bit like, oh, get on with it. Like, but
overall, do you know my favourite thing that I kept commenting on, but my mum was like, "You're obsessed," was the Fapes. I loved that he had a different colour. His brother, who should have been Lord but wasn't Lord, had a different colour Fape in every scene. I was like, iconic. Because this was good. And you could tell it was an alpha. But it was like clearly that they had like that. Yeah, and they wouldn't. They like how they had to hide the logo. Be like, this is not an alpha. I was like trying to half in my head remember what flavors they were. Every time we had to green one, I was like, is that spearmint or is that kiwi? Like, I was like, what flavour was that? Anyway, that was my favourite little extra add-on.
Yeah. No, I enjoyed it. I mean, the thing is though, I mean, I do like his stuff, but I feel like it's very copy and paste. And I feel like by the time he made The Gentleman, the film, that was his peak. Like, it was his best. He's fully crafted his art. And then Gentleman, the television show, wasn't as good. Didn't expect it necessarily to be as good. I don't know. It's tricky, and when it doesn't live up necessarily to its predecessor, it kind of makes you. I don't know. I enjoyed it. Don't get me wrong, but I felt like it was quite safe at times. But yeah, no, completely with you though. He is such an iconic man that has a brilliant way of storytelling, which is refreshing.
I think also he's still quite British. He has done a couple of American stuff. He has written some really around, like he helped write Aladdin. But then is that like for anyone? Like, he wrote Aladdin. Yeah, he does. He has such a style, and I know this. The listener probably doesn't know this. I love gangster films. I love them with a passion that sometimes I just want to be in that realm. Like, I just, it's not okay. I just want to be like a mafia's daughter sometimes. I just think I want the style. I want the reputation. I want to be able to go into a room and no one give me any bullshit. I just love it.
Have those power suits, like the costumes were fantastic. God,
power shoots. I ended up going on ASOS and looking up power suits because of
Oh my god, just beautiful. I loved her. Like,
she's stunning. She's just so
she's always Effie to me.
Iconic character.
Yeah.
We can't say Theo James, also an iconic actor. I'm gonna sound like I'm bashing him, okay, for a minute. Let me have this moment. I think he is an amazing actor. I think he's been in some amazing things. I think at some point he might have fired his agent. The biggest thing that we all know from was Divergent. When this is personal beef now. In the book, his character is much, much younger, and they wanted Theo James, so they aged him up by 10 years. Who wouldn't want Theo James? After that, I feel like he wasn't in loads. I said this one, I think he might have fired someone. I don't know what was going on. He then was in Sandington. This is where my personal beef comes from. Which was high TV, Jane Austen, and it was the one book Jane Austen never finished. So they did it as a 2-part series. First part, he's the love interest, by the way. He then is like, I'm not coming back for the second series. And they kill him off. Sorry for the spoiler. Wow. They kill him off and had to give the lead heroine a new love interest. Like, Theo, why couldn't you have just done a Bridgerton? Like, let us have you. Like, anyway, he then left and he was in Time Traveller's Wife, which was absolute rubbish. Why did they make a TV show of the Time Traveler's Wife? Also, why did they make it more groomy? I don't know. I only watched a few episodes, found it really, really wrong. At one point, she's 18, he's 41, he takes her virginity.
Oh, Christ.
Not okay. Apparently, I've not read the book, but people are saying it is definitely not like that in the novel. So he then left London to go into another show that didn't do too well. He's then been in quite a few other notable TV shows like The White Lotus. I think that was his saving grace. I think that's what pulled him back. And now we've got a gentleman. So well done, Theo. You've had a journey.
Yeah, definitely. I sort of remember him from the In-Betweeners, the film. Yeah.
He always plays an idiot, like a horrible man. I kind of love him for that. He's very good at I'm going to say it, I'm really sorry, I'm going to censor myself, cunty behaviour.
Oh, okay. You went there.
I'm like, I love it. Well done, Theo.
Yeah.
I'm still just quite I just love the elf bars. I think it was my favourite moments. Well done to the gentleman. Well done, Guy Ritchie. Did great. I think, what do we give it? I'd have to give it 8 out of 10.
I don't know. I think maybe between 6.5 and 7 out of 10.
Okay. Still high.
Still do high, yeah. Yeah.
I see you've left a comment about the Avatar, The Last Airbender live action.
Yeah.
It's something I'm slightly aware of, but it's not in my realm.
Yeah, so I wouldn't have watched it if it wasn't for Ricky, my partner. But yeah, it's an interesting. We haven't finished it, but I'd say the first couple of episodes I got really invested into it. And I don't know if you know about the flop that was the film for it.
Do I know about the flop? I do.
Yeah, but it's much better than that.
I watched it as a kid though, and I used to quite like it. I don't know what was going on with that. And then I watched it years later. I was like, oh, this is awful.
Yeah, literally.
I know the cartoon is beloved, so
yeah, absolutely beloved. Reese is obsessed with it. He's like rewatching it like so many times since we have watched it. So I have picked up on things and what have you. And I will say the live action version, the effects are absolutely fantastic. And I really like that they haven't completely sort of whitewashed the characters, and they've kept it quite authentic to the to people's ethnicities and where that's come from. So yeah, I really I do recommend it, and it's even enjoyable for people that don't actually know much about it, I think, because I'm one of them people. I don't really know much about it but yeah, the effects are fantastic, visually stunning, although some of the acting's a little bit questionable, but
but it's like kids, like, is it the kids?
Yeah, but
you can forgive the children.
Yeah, he's a little babby.
It's when it's an adult that's when you're like, you've been to film school or whatever, and you should be acting better, mate. It kind of, it's the TV cartoon is definitely something that I've been recommended. People say there's a lot about very ethical values in it as well. So I think that's a big reason why it touches a lot of people. Yeah, I honestly don't think I'm going to watch it, I'll be honest. I'm sorry. That's fine. Not for me.
I don't know if we're going to finish it.
Yeah,
no, completely.
It's the same as the Percy Jackson TV show. I feel like that was similar. I did watch that though. I won't run to watch series 2, but it wasn't made for me. I was never a Percy Jackson girl. I really appreciate that it's there for people and it really resonates with people. So I love that, and it needs to. Series 2 will happen. I'm assuming series 2 will happen for Avatar as well. And
okay, so next you've got a 3-body problem.
Right.
We've not
You're
completely
watching
watched
it
it.
at
We've
the
just,
moment, and I can't spoil
Yeah.
anything.
okay. Yeah.
Can you tell that I liked it? I'm so excited. Okay, I just want to say that I didn't realise that I knew something about this show, because it's been established many times in this podcast. Me and you both work in the industry.
Mhm.
I was working with a producer 4 years ago, so long ago, and he left the project I was on with him to go back to David and Dan, because he had worked on Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
I completely forgot about it. I completely forgot that scenario happened. And he was so excited to go onto this TV show. He said, oh, it's going to be great. It's a really known novel. We're getting a lot of big actors. It's going to be filmed in loads of locations. Completely forgot it happened. And the reason I remembered was because I then realised this was written by David and Dan, who wrote Game of Thrones. Then it also said it finished, though it started filming in November 2022, which was the time that this person left. He left in early, I think it was early October or something, to go on to this show. So that is what I I don't want to say names, he went on to, and he was buzzed for it. And that's my main thing that I've relearned recently. So it does have a lot of the Game of Thrones team on this, which as much as I'm excited, I'm also a bit fearful. David and Dan, you're still in my bad books, but you did this well. Your
D&D have come
D&D.
The resurrection of D&D.
How are you finding it? Because you said you were on episode one, 2?
Yeah, 1. We haven't finished episode 1. So I'll tell you what. So we started watching it quite late, midweek. Both me and Reese were knackered. We were like, right, we need to watch this show. You know, when you just have to watch something, but you're fucking knackered, and then you start watching it. We ate a big dinner. Mm-hmm. We had a cider, that went straight to our heads. And we were watching it. We're like, what's going on? and then Reese just turned around and asked me such a deep question about, what do you think is the best ever TV show? So we had to pause it to talk about that, and then before we knew it was bedtime. So, which in a way is a relatable topic to talk about, but that's as far as we got.
It was bedtime. How'd it go? It's just that I lost faith at first. I was like, oh my god, this is so much information. It's so scientific. I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
Then the breakthrough happens, and I got it. I was
okay.
I think it's just set up such a world, and it's quite tangled in timelines, that it just takes a little bit of brain power to get through them first few episodes. Okay, some little facts. Obviously, I've already said about the filming. Also, why was the post so long? If it was wrapped, early last year? I don't know. I was looking at the timeline and I was like, this is a very long post. But on the flip side, there is a lot about special effects at the moment being rushed, and then they're overworking, not getting paid enough.
Yeah,
bad quality. So the quality of this was amazing. The scenes that I can't give away. You're like, oh my god, what did I just witness? And it's incredible. The special effects, amazing. It's based off a novel, a Chinese novel, which also has had a few other adaptations. This isn't the first show. This is the first Western show, though. This is the first. It's been reworked for a Western audience.
Okay.
It's based off a trilogy, so there's 3 books to go. Two more.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's where my fear for D&D comes in. D&D are great if there's source material. Look at Game of Thrones. Like, them first 2 series, great. But the second they realised, we've not got another novel to go to, they started trying to spread the final few novels throughout the seasons, and then they had to kind of make up the final few seasons. And they rushed it, and I'm just scared that they might... Let's say 2 seasons happen, the next 2 seasons, that'll be 3 seasons, 1 for each book. If they want to keep it going, that's where my fear comes in. I'm scared that they might ruin another series.
Is the because I literally never think about the novel and what have you. Is the writer author of the novel still around? Are they still writing? Is my question.
Hold
the phone caller.
Hold the phone. Let's have a look. I did see that they were born in the 60s. I'm hoping they are alive, because that's not that's not long enough ago, is it? To right. Author is Lou. They are alive.
Fantastic. Woo!
Fantastic. They are around, so they might.
Brilliant.
Yeah, you're right. That might be the plausible. But we also have George R. R. Martin, and
what a saint.
But he removed himself from their last 2 series, so that's why House of Dragons is doing so well, because he helps with that.
Yeah. Oh. So, speaking of,
we fight for our queen!
Yeah. Right. So, trailer. Woo! And everything buzz. Going straight on to House of Dragons.
Yeah, bitch.
I can't wait for the series. It's
so excited.
So anticipated.
Oh my gosh, the trailer, I love how they've done 2 trailers. One's green sides, one's the black side. Oh, genius.
Good. I also love how they HBO themselves are Team Black. You can just tell they're Team Black. They're like, we don't care about the green. Greens couldn't sod off.
Fuck off. Yeah.
Oh. I've been seeing a lot on TikTok, like really sympathy edits of the Greens, and I do feel a little bit bad, because I feel that they didn't have a very good father, even though we all know he was great. I don't think he was a great father. Anyway, so I think they're very jealous of their elder sister, but that's going off topic a little bit. Photos, trailers, posters.
Yeah,
that's where we're at. Got a date now.
That's where we're
Have
at.
you seen that it's coming out on Father's Day? And it's called A Son for a Son. The first episode is on.
Shit, I didn't realise that was Father's Day.
Yeah, it's Father's Day.
That's brilliant.
I can't wait. I'm so excited. I love the novel that it's based on so much, and I love how they interpret it for the show. Give me Matt Smith on the dragon.
I know. Rare. Get a revenge. Yeah, great.
No, iconic.
I'm so excited. Yeah, June is going to be amazing.
Beetlejuice first trailer and first photos came out.
I've not properly watched the trailer.
It didn't have a lot in it.
Right.
I'm looking forward to it. That's where I'm at. I think it's a very interesting film because it was affected by the strike. It completely stood still, and then it resumed after Christmas for a bit. So it's not coming out until like Halloweeny now. So I think, they've done well. I think it's just going to be like,
it's worked out well.
Yeah, it's worked out well for them, but it's one of, say, House of Dragons kind of was didn't really get affected by the strike. That's why it's been able to come out in June, because they were all British actors and on British contracts. But Beetlejuice, on the other hand, was not. Both Warner Brothers, that's why. In that little realm.
Yeah.
Wicked. had some promotional photos released.
Yeah.
I'm kind of looking forward to it. I'm kind of looking forward to it, but I'm also like,
Are you?
I'm really nervous. I love Wicked, but I'm just nervous that
I know.
of
I'm I've sort of written it off. I don't know. 'Cause I was excited about it, and then I sort of saw the first look, so I was like, oh, I don't know now. So I think if I just don't have much of an expectation and just watch it,
yeah.
I love to be pleasantly surprised, you know?
So if we didn't know, I specialise in adaptation theory. And I have many fears with the adaptation. My main fear, which I'm going to go, is the 3-act structure theory, which happens in musicals and films and books. So yes, there is an interval when you watch Wicked on stage, and that's we don't really know, but that's where we think they're going to stop the first film, because obviously this is going to be part 1 and part 2. That does make me worry, because I feel like the first act has some of the amazing songs. So most of the amazing songs are in the first act. Obviously, Defying Gravity, Popular, Dancing Through Life, like they're all first act. Stopping it at that height of that tension to then have the second half, which is just the fallout of the first half. I just don't know if it's going to work. I think Dune also went into this issue. That is why Dune part 1, part 2 didn't work, because you have to. But for that, I think it happened the other way around. So part 1 was boring. Part 2,
picked up
better, because it was where picked up. Wicked, on the other hand, I think is so magical and like amazing songs going part to part up to the first half. The second half is getting criticised for the lack of amazing songs. I can disagree a little bit, because No Good Deed is part 2 and For Good is part 2. Great. Iconic. Legendary.
Iconic. Yeah.
I don't know. I think I can't say anything about any of the actors until I see a bit more promotional material. I'm scared it looks very CGI and weirdly muted, even though it's meant to be like Oz. Have you seen the Doctor Who trailer? Let's move on.
I have.
What did you feel? How did you feel?
I don't know. It's a weird one. So I didn't watch the Christmas Day special. I've watched the 60th anniversary. Was that the Christmas? No, hang on. There was another one, wasn't there? I'm sure there was another episode.
There was 3 episodes before Christmas. Then there was the Christmas episode. Now we're now.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. So I've watched the 3 episodes. One, but I didn't watch the Christmas special. Yeah, so I don't know if it's integral to the season coming up. I don't know.
Introduces the companion. That's kind of where we're at.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because I don't really know much about it, other than I've seen her in lots of promotional pictures and what have you, but literally know nothing about her.
Yeah. I think the Disney influence didn't concern me at first, because they've just bought the distribution right. That means for me, I'm just like, well, that's a bit of extra money to be put into Doctor Who. It gives them international waters with America. Side note about BBC. BBC is losing money a lot at the moment. They also are slowly cutting back on BBC America, BBC in other countries, stuff like that. There's a little bit of a turmoil. It's all like rumours at the moment. I've just watched it and read a few articles about it. Going back to Doctor Who. So Disney, I think, has just promoted it. The fact that the trailer straight up has just Disney on it. It's BBC. It's a BBC show. It's part of. And I was just like, oh, it hurts. Like I was like, it hurts a little bit, and it was just too flashy. I can't believe this is a criticism. It was too flashy. It was too squeaky clean. It just didn't feel like the Doctor Who I love. And I think the last few seasons of Doctor Who has really upset a lot of people. The writer, we forget about that. So now that the original writing team is back, we all had high hopes. And now I'm nervous again. Also, the companion's already left. We know this. They're starting on series 2. The companion's already gone. And that upsets me that we already know that it's not going to be a shock reveal. Because I feel like back in the day, we didn't know stuff like that. We didn't know Donna was leaving. We didn't know Rose was leaving. Like, we didn't know these things.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Yeah, it's
how
interesting.
I feel.
I think when we were watching Doctor Who, you know, when we had our first Doctor Who really was Christopher Eccleston, wasn't it? When they sort of rebooted it. And I think we transformed ourselves through several other Doctors, and we were able to adapt to it. And I think now is completely different new generation. And I think they're going for something completely different. As you say, yes, they've brought back the OG writing team, but of course their executives aren't BBC as such. It's got Disney now in the mix. I've got a feeling Disney trumps BBC when it, you know, in a writer's room, they're like probably got more gravitational pull. So yeah,
it's just a shame. Also, there's a bit of backlash over the fact that America are going to get it before us. That hurts.
What?
Yeah, they're getting it the day before, so they're getting it on like the Friday. We'll get it on the Saturday.
I did not know this.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
I might be slightly wrong with that. I think someone worked it out and it could be like semi the same because of how the time, I don't know. So anyway, Netflix. Love on my Netflix. They've had a lot of announcements. Heartstopper Series 3 has all been announced. We haven't had any trailers or anything like that. It's just they've announced when that will come out. Same with Bridgerton. Bridgerton has had a bit of a weird trailer situation. We haven't got a trailer. We've got a couple of clips, a couple of little moments. Have you seen the newest one?
Jesus, no, I haven't actually. I'm not really a Bridgerton follower, so
sexual attention. So obviously the season is Penn and Colin. Okay. I'm definitely a little bit wary about how Colin is gonna be. I don't know if I can be on board with him being our lad, our main guy. He's not answering for me. That's where we're at. And Anthony is still in the mix. He's still a character. You know, I'm just gonna watch it now. They've just been releasing clips, which is so, I think, kind of rogue. But Netflix are the only people who kind of do this. They don't release a trailer, but they've released like some posters. And we know it's coming out in May/June because they're doing part 1 and part 2. Waiting for a trailer.
Yeah. To be fair, actually, you mentioned that. I was thinking the other day how unique some of Netflix's like marketing strategies are. When you go obviously onto the app and you're not on anything, and then they start playing like a scene from a new film or new TV show. The amount of times actually that has grabbed my attention rather than a trailer. It speaks for itself, really. And I think that's possibly what they're trying to do again with this, but just on a social media platform.
Yeah. I think they know that we hunger for clips. So they're just like sprinkling a clip every like few weeks, and then suddenly we'll get a trailer.
Sticking with Netflix, something I didn't say about the free body problems is I haven't actually seen it advertised. I heard about it through someone in my lecture. My lecturer was going on about it, and it had just come out like the night before. I did not know what it was, and then again I went onto Netflix and it was the first thing that popped up, so that's why I watched it. They're rogue, aren't they? They're like, we're going to advertise it how we want to advertise it.
Yeah, literally. Yeah. Yeah, no, same. I mean, Reese's dad recommended it, and then you recommended it like in such a short space of time. So I was like, wow, gotta watch it now. So
Netflix is very good at word of mouth, I think.
100%.
They also have revealed that Black Mirror will return next year. Very excited. And I again have a bit more faith in Black Mirror again now. I think the last series, we had some good ones, we had some bad ones, but I think it's got a good mix now where it's like, it's not always dark, but it'd be funny, but it has morals.
Yeah.
So looking forward to that. I believe that's filming or has just filmed. I don't really know. I don't know if it'll be a mix of America and England again. Really don't know anything. Euphoria. There has been a few reports now that Euphoria might not come back for series 3. I think there's just been too much happened with it that I just don't think any of the actors are willing to go back. That'd be sad, but
I'm not shocked. I think it would be more of a graft to get them all together. You know, they're all doing
shocked. I'm
their own
disappointed
thing as well. Yeah. I'm not shocked. It's disappointing because it's such a brilliant show. But I'm firmly a believer. Go out on a high. Don't flog a dead horse. You know. So I can appreciate that decision if that is, you know, true.
Yeah. So. It's definitely I think it's such a shame because the first series was a pop culture moment. The style, the music, Labyrinth, it was just amazing. And then how it ended, and then series 2 happened, That's basically what happened.
Yeah. But it was still a moment though, people's reactions, because I think TikTok was more of a thing and Instagram Reels by that time, and it was just everywhere. I almost feel like it had too big a legs for it to run.
It's just
But
I'm a bit depressed over it. I'm not gonna lie. I just really love the show, but it was just some of the things that came out, and then we also now know that he might have stolen a lot of the style from another creator, which is not okay. It's not cool, man. It's not what we do.
It's not cool, dude.
It's not cool, dude.
Creative.
Yeah. Okay. Have you said about the twisted childhood cinematic universe?
Twisted childhood cinematic universe. I don't know. Do I? Hang on. Let me just.
Are you ready for me to explain it? Because they have announced that it's gonna be a thing. So Winnie the Pooh has gone into the domain. So someone has made a horror film about Winnie the Pooh. That should be funny.
What?
Yeah. So there is a horror movie. I think it's called Pooh. I think that's what it's called. It's called Winnie. Oh yeah. But because it's in the domain now, they can use it.
Wow.
So they have announced they're going to be making this. Is going to be another one, and it's going to have more of the characters in it, and that this is now a thing, and they can use other source material. They're just slasher. They're give me Freddy Krueger vibes, but Winnie the Pooh.
Wow. So is it going to be a bit like Chucky, but Winnie the Pooh is the doll? Going around with a knife.
No, from the promotional, because I haven't watched the film, but it's literally like a man dressed like Winnie the Pooh.
Oh, okay. Let me Google this. I need to.
Yeah, let's both collectively have a look. Oh, it's called Winnie the Pooh. Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey.
Oh my god.
It came out last year, and then we're gonna have. And then we're gonna have number 2, and that's coming out this year. And it's a horror slasher. And so yeah, they have announced that they are going to make a universe.
That is, I mean,
that is great. Yeah, because number 3 is also been confirmed.
I'm just looking at his mask. Winnie the Pooh
It's
mask.
really creepy, right?
That's so creepy.
It's
a bit like Friday Night at Freddy's, isn't it?
Oh my god, yeah. It then does go into this moral debate, doesn't it? About like, is this something that we should do? But once upon a time there was a horror version of Scooby-Doo, but they did it very cleverly that no one had the original names. But you could tell, like you could tell it was the spooky gang. Yeah.
Oh my god, look at it. Oh, sorry. I'm just looking at the pictures and oh my gosh. That is hilarious. Wow. That looks like a fun watch, actually. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, there's one more thing though. We have the Fall Guy. Which
did I completely go over that? Oh my god, Anna didn't talk about the idea of you. Right, let's go back. Okay. Fall Guy. I only really knew about it because of you. But then I've been seeing the promotion now.
Yeah.
Because of
I'm excited.
It looks interesting. It's I'm excited.
It looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah, you said quite an interesting fact about it.
Yeah, fun fact. Apparently they're like breaking records with stunts or what have you. I think currently Tom Cruise has that hat. I don't know. I should have revised what it was in specific for, but I think the amount of stunts that they've done is just phenomenal, which is of course makes sense because it's based off a stuntman. Yeah, which in itself I'm really excited about because I think it's unique to look at a film about making a film, essentially.
Yeah, I think there's been in recent years there's a lot of love behind stunt teams. They're definitely getting more recognition. I think people are realizing how hard of a job they can be, and sometimes they really put their lives at risk. So I think the Fall Guy, obviously Ryan Gosling, Emily Blunt, we'll see what it's like. The trailer definitely looked interesting, and it's something I will watch when it comes out.
Same. Yeah. I'm excited.
Have you seen the trailer for The Idea of You?
No, I don't think I have. I've seen some promotional things like posters and such, but
yeah. So it is once again Nicholas. I always butcher his last name until I hear someone say it. I don't know how you say it. Gulzine?
Yeah. Oh my god, no, tell it. I have seen the trailer. Sorry. Yeah, I have seen
it's going to be on Amazon. It says May the 2nd that it's going to come out on Amazon Prime. It's based off a novel. People keep saying it is Harry Styles fan fiction. There's a bit of debate about that one. There is debate, but you can't lie. The parallels are uncanny. So he's part of a boy band. He's English. He's tattooed, and he's a bit known for being a bit of a bad boy. Sounds a bit like Harry Styles to me in the One Direction days. And he also likes older women. Come on, that's Harry Styles. So it's basically like a bit of a romance, I think, between the two people, Anne Hathaway, who is a art collector, and him. He is 24 and she is 40. So it's going to be interesting. He's called August Moon. August Moon. I love it. It's going to be, I think it'll be a bit of fun. I love how hot Anne Hathaway is at the moment.
Oh, she
is stunning. She still looks as good as she did the second we all were introduced to her. I actually think she's hotter now. She's an icon. She really has become a bit of a MILF, hasn't she? Like,
she's brilliant. I love her so much. I really do. She's such a genuine person. Like, I mean, obviously I don't know her, but like you know, she comes across as such like a genuine person, like in interviews and into her interactions. So, yeah.
Well, it says here that she was just cast, so I don't know if my little thing about she was apparently the producer, I think might be fake. I haven't seen her. She's not listed as a producer on. Oh no, it is here. She is a producer, but that doesn't mean she cast herself. Sometimes they get cast and then become a producer. So I don't know what way around that happened, but icon. Really looking forward to that film. I don't think it's going to be groundbreaking or anything like that. I'm hoping the boy band has some good songs. We always want a good little bop.
Yeah, that'd be interesting actually. Yeah, a bit of bop.
Well, be a little bop. Like I said, there's not really much else on the list for us to talk about for this month. A lot has happened. We've been talking for nearly 2 hours, so I believe this is the end of the podcast. There's definitely things that we've missed. There's definitely things we probably shouldn't have talked about. I don't know. Yeah. Who knows? Anyway, happy Easter to you and to the listeners. You got some eggs. All right, thank you for listening.
All right,
I'm going to say bye to the...
Bye.